afternoon, students. 12 Arts. Today I will discuss the deficiency in demand. In two cases, in two-sector closed economy and four-sector open economy. Today I will discuss the deficiency in demand, the reasons, consequence on the basis of two-sector closed economy and four-sector closed economy. Now, what do you mean by deficiency in demand? Before that, can anybody say what do you mean by demand? Can anybody say what do you mean by demand? No one is responding. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody present? The Rimpi, that's it. জ্যোতির্ময় আছে, জ্যোতির্ময় থাকে, রেগুলারই থাকে। সানিয়া আছে, সানিয়া গুড স্টুডেন্ট, জ্যোতির্ময় গুড স্টুডেন্ট। So, what is demand? Can Jyotirmoy say that you are demanding to purchase an aeroplane? Is it your demand? But you have only 500 rupees in your bank account. Then is it demand? I think no. Demand must be backed by your purchasing power. And the demand for the commodity, that commodity must satisfy your utility. If the commodity cannot satisfy the utility of you, then you must not make any demand for that commodity. You must not make a demand for that commodity which is out of your purchasing capacity. Which is out of your purchasing capacity. And if you do demand for that commodity, it will not be considered as demand in economics. Because whatever effort you may give, but if you have no purchasing power, you cannot purchase it at the market rate. So deficient demand is another thing. Deficient demand means the demand is, there is the deficiency in demand for the full employment and which is below the required for the fuller utilization of available resources. That is called deficient demand. Deficiency in demand. Demand e ঘাটতি বলে যাকে বাংলা কথা। Deficiency in demand. Am I clear? That is the demand which is lower than the required, which is useful for the fulfillment of the economy. So, this demand may be discussed in two ways, in two phases. According to Keynes, deficient demand is aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. According to Professor Keynes, Keynes is a very famous economist in the world, classical economist. So according to him, when AD, that is aggregate demand, is less than aggregate supply, then it is called deficient demand. How can you explain it? We can explain it with the help of a diagram. output or GDP, output or GDP. এদিকে কি লিখবো? What will measure? Aggregate demand. This is 45-degree line. You know it very well. This is very important in macroeconomics. 45-degree line. This is Y. This is S. It may be. And this is ADF. ADF. And this is ADP. ADF means aggregate demand at full employment. Aggregate demand at full employment. And ADP is aggregate demand as per planning. As per planning. So, if we draw a perpendicular line from this point, this is suppose E, where ADF intersect 45-degree line is F, and this point is F, where ADP intersect the, not intersect, rather intersect the E, suppose D, ED line. So, this should be the equilibrium, this should be the equilibrium where ADF and Y is equal to each other at full employment. This indicates full employment. But due to some reasons, for lack of some economic activities, the equilibrium takes place here, where ADP is just below the ADF line, indicating that the deficiency in demand, because this is not possible, GDP is here. So if we connect this, we will get this point, but will intersect the ADP, that is aggregate demand as per planning at point F. This is the gap between ADF and ADP. I am again repeating, ADF is the aggregate demand at full employment, and F and ADP is the aggregate demand according to planning. The difference between these is that deficiency in demand. This is deficiency in demand. Deficiency in demand can be measured by the gap between the two curves ADF and ADP. It should be here, but according to planning it is here. According to planning it is here. Now, what are the causes of this? Causes of this deficiency demand. We will discuss this in two ways. In two-sector closed economy. Two-sector, number one is two-sector closed economy. I am reviewing the picture, the diagram. In two-sector closed economy. What are the two sectors, Jyotirmoy? What are the two sectors of the economy here? We are going to explain. Can you say? Sania? No. Two sectors are consumption and investment. And closed economy means the economy which has no trade relation with foreign countries. Closed economy means the economy which does not take part in export and import of goods and services. Right? Is it clear? The economy which has no trade relation, that is import and export with other countries, is called closed economy. The country does not export any commodities to any country, and the country does not import any commodity or services from other countries. It is called closed economy. So here y is equal to C plus I. Here y is equal to C plus I. C is the consumption, I is the investment. Now why it is responsible for the deficient demand? Because income is lower as per diagram. So consumption is lower. Consumption is lower than desirable one. Lower than desirable one. Desirable one. So if consumption is lower, then because of MPC, consumption is lower due to marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume. That is the intention of the consumer is to consume less for some reasons. So MPC, if MPC decreases, what will be the result? What will be the result? MPS will increase, right? MPS will rise. What do you mean by MPS? Marginal propensity to save. Marginal propensity to save will increase because after meeting the consumption expenditure, what is raised in your hand will induce you to save that amount. Will induce you to save this amount, which is explained by this term MPS, increase MPS. Marginal propensity to save increase. How it is converted into another? Investment. If you have more money in your pocket, in your bank account, if it is in your pocket, you must deposit in your bank account to get some interest, thus earning income. You may not, you should not keep a lot of money, lakhs of rupees at home. Because if you invest it, minimum if you deposit it in the bank account, you will get some income. Therefore, it must be either deposited in the bank account or invested in the field of production. So now if MPS increases, but due to lower desirable consumption attitude, you will get no scope to sell in the market. You will get no scope to sell in the market. So investment, MPS tends to investment, I. That is investment. In a developed country like America, like all other developed countries, like UK, there is the possibility of increasing MPS, to convert into MPC. They have the capability. But in an underdeveloped country or a developing country, investment will give you no too much good result because of the lower desirable demand. They will not purchase more of the goods, produced goods. So this is the result of the two-sector economy. Investment will also decline and consumption decline. The declination of investment is the result of the decline of consumption. Because if people want to consume less, what will you do by investing a lot of capital to supply the commodities in the market? To supply the commodities in the market. This is everything for two-sector economy. If you have any question, please ask. If you have any question regarding this explanation, may ask. No one is asking. So I am removing it. So the concept of two-sector closed economy is clear, I think. Two-sector closed economy is clear, I think. What do you mean by two-sector? What do you mean by closed economy? How they work within the economic system? What are the problems? What is the reason of the deficiency of demand is clear. Consumption declines, MPS increase, even if investment declines. So two-sector closed economy faces this problem and investment does not take place. Now the four sectors of the economy. Fourth sector, open economy. Fourth sector, open economy. What are the four sectors? What are the four sectors? First you tell me open economy. What is the difference between closed economy and open economy? What do you mean by open economy? The economy which has trade relation with the other countries in the world, that is the country takes part in export goods and services and import goods and services from other countries is called open economy. That is, the economy is open to every country. They may come to sell their commodity as per need of the country people, and the country also have the ability and power to export some goods and services to other commodities is called open economy. So just open economy is just the opposite to closed economy. The economy has trade relation. Now most of the countries in the world possess this open economic system. Now fourth sector. What are the four sector? Can anybody say? Please, very easy question. No one. So open economy means it is clear. Now four sectors are government sector, household sector, foreign sector, and business sector. these are 4 sectors, 1, 2, 3, 4. So government sector, what does it do in an open economy? What is the function of the government sector? The government sector cuts the consumption expenditure and investment expenditure due to budgetary constraint. Due to budgetary constraint, budget limitation, they are unable to expend the expenditure, desired expenditure by the economy or by the country people. So government sector decline, the investment may decline. So if investment declines, consumption also declines, prices of commodities will rise, and it will adversely affect the economy also, right? Now, household sector. Household sector has two functions, C plus I, that is either consumption or investment. It has already been discussed. What is the effect of consumption and investment? Consumption, if consumption declines, it must affect the investment, because if consumption declines, investor will not be encouraged to invest in the field of production for the supply of goods and services. For the supply of goods and services, therefore, both are related with each other. And foreign sector, that means export and import. Export and import. Export and import. Export will reduce. Why? Because the purchasing power of the people of the country will be affected if the commodities are exported to other countries even at this stage. And import also affected like that. If imports take place, then commodity will come to the country, and as there is deficiency of demand, we are discussing deficient demand. So if there is deficiency in demand, export will adversely affect the domestic economy. Domestic economy, because the demand for domestic commodity will decline due to import also, due to import. And export will also be adversely affected for the declining of MPC stage by stage. And now the business sector, it will be also affected. Business sector will be also affected, because if they do not get the proper market to sell their commodities, how they will be able to produce more and more commodities. So the full employment opportunity cannot be attained here. Underemployment will take the equilibrium point, which can be explained with a diagram. How much time, sir? So I will do it the next day. Thank you very much.